With the rectangle command, we noticed that it created a single object, something called a polyline. Another command that creates a single object, also consisting of a polyline, is underneath the rectangle command. If I pull down this little drop down and grab Polygon, it prompts us for the number of sides, and it's always going to draw a regular polygon with equal sides and equal angles, or equal interior angles. Let's just kind of match what we were looking at on the icon for the command itself. Let's do a 5-sided polygon. Once I type in the number of sides and hit enter, then it prompts me for the center of the polygon, and it also gives me an edge option. We'll come back to that, but I'll pick the center of a polygon, and now it wants to know whether I want to do an inscribed polygon or a circumscribed polygon. And it says inscribed in a circle or inscribed about a circle, but yet there's no circle there. The next prompt is going to be for a radius. Think of it this way. If you say inscribed within a circle, you're going to have a hold of the corner as you're dragging it out. Just like if you remember when we dragged out the radius of a circle, we had a hold of the outside edge. Similar to that with the polygon. Inscribed is going to have a hold of one of the corners or one of the vertices. If I say circumscribed, I'm going to have a hold of one of the midpoints of one of the edges. So let's go ahead and do inscribed, and you can see that I have a hold of it. Now, I can just click and drag, and wherever I click and drag, that's where that corner is going to be. So I can kind of direct the angle that that point is at. Or I can also type in a value, but then no matter where I'm pointing, if I type in 2, let's say for the radius of the circle, and hit enter, it's always going to be kind of upright, so to speak. Let's just leave it at that. If I do the polygon command again by hitting enter, that returns to the previous command, and I'll hit enter to accept that 5 number of sides again, that default value. Remember, anything inside the angle braces we get when we hit the enter key. And we'll pick a center point, and this time I will type circumscribed about a circle, and now you see that I have a hold of one of the midpoints. Okay, and in this case, if I type in 2 again for the radius of the circle, you can see I'm going to get a bigger polygon. Now if I drew a circle, okay, that had a radius of 2, and let's just kind of, I'll use a grips tool. We'll come back and talk about grips a little bit later. You can see that I'm inscribed inside there, so my circle, imaginary circle, if you will, passes through the vertices, where here the imaginary circle passes through the midpoints tangentially around that. So that's kind of an explanation of polyline. Now again, if I do, or polygon I should say, if I do polygon and I say, let's just do something different this time. Let's say 8, and I hit enter, and I pick the center of the polygon, and I say inscribed, and I'll have a hold of the corner. If I just pick a point, I'm not necessarily concerned about the exact size. I direct the angle of the polygon and the radius of the polygon at the same time. And again, notice that this is all one object. When I kind of hover over it, the whole thing highlights. The other option is to, instead of designating the size of the polygon based on inscribed or circumscribed about a center point and a circle, I can also, let's do something simple, 3 sides this time. Okay, and then instead of picking the center point of a circle, I can say, no, I'll tell you what the length of one edge is, and I'll pick a first edge endpoint, and then I'll kind of drag over here, and I'll say 2, and I end up with an equilateral triangle with 2 unit long edges the whole way. If I went up here and used my measuring tool, and I measured from here to there, you can see that we've got a 2-inch length, or an edge of 2 inches in length, or 2 units, I guess I should say. So that's your polygon command.